So hello everyone. My name is Rohan De. I'm from third year cybersecurity and I'm a member of Team Ghost here presenting my project for Winter Solstice Hackathon, Google Developers Group, MSIT 2026. My project is called Autojob. Well, Autojob is basically a RAG-based AI agent that we have tried to develop to solve a problem that is actually quite bothersome to every college student apparently. So there's this traditional way of applying to jobs by looking up on LinkedIn, looking up on Indeed, and who knows how many other job websites. But what happens in that case is we end up actually spending hundreds of hours looking for the correct job, trying to filter it out, then looking for jobs that actually match our resume. And sometimes we even need to fine tune a resume to include certain skills that might not be there, that might be there during a job. So I thought, why not build a solution that can help us save all those hours and instead put those hundreds of hours into upskilling ourselves rather than thinking about what changes to make in our resume, what bullet points I should edit, what kind of skills I should mention. Why not leave all that work to AI? Because that is the kind of job that AI is good at, right? So that is where my project Autojob comes in, which is a RAG-based AI, which is totally locally hosted because we do not want our training data to be, or rather, we do not want our resumes data and our personal information to be used as training data for any AI that is out there. So what we have done is used a local LLM agent run using Olama. Here I've used the agent Google's Gemma 3 4 billion parameter agent, which has my bad, it's not an agent, it's the LLM, which has agent, which can be converted into an agent using LangChain's tooling operations and stuff. So here is how the project works. What happens in our project is that first of all, you need to upload your resume to our AI agent, which then automatically embeds the project into embeddings using Google's Nomic embed text. Once the embedding is done, it's stored in a vector database for future retrieval and for being used as reference for our projects. And what happens next is that we ask the LLM to look for the top skills that is there in your resume. Once the LLM lists down the top skills that is present in your resume, it goes out, uses an API known as this, the their stack API. It uses the free version of that API in order to look for jobs that are out there across multiple websites. It's not just the top famous websites like LinkedIn or Indeed. It looks for job across all sorts of websites and lists the top 5 jobs for each kind of skill and presents them to you. So here is a working demo of the project. Let's say we are using it in our test main. Apparently, I did not have enough time to build a front end, but we are actively working on making a React front end for the web interface and a Flutter based application so that the application is actually easily accessible to anyone. So I will just go into my root directory and I will run Python 3 test main, because this is not the actual main, this is a test main.py. So as you can see here that Mill was our vector database, which I used for this case because I'm running Linux instead of ChromaDB, which is actually mentioned in our presentation, is because Linux actually supports the PyMilverse implementation, which is actually something I have worked with, which will be later changed to ChromaDB indeed. So what happens here is first our document is chunked into 4 chunks and it's stored in Milvus. The number of chunks is autonomous and depends on the chunk size. Then what happens is the LLM goes through the resumes embedded format and looks for the top skills. As you can see here, title software engineer, ML and NLP, because that is what my resume consists of. If you take a look at my resume over here, you can see a lot of machine learning and NLP related stuff. So as you could see, there were some ML, NLP, Agentic AI. This is the stuff that I've worked on. NLP engineer also relevant. So as you can see, it has gone through each of my skill, looked for the skills across all sorts of website and listed down the jobs. It has listed down a job for software engineer, and here you can, as you can see, there are a variety of websites that it has listed down from, not just LinkedIn or Indeed. As you can see here, this one's a LinkedIn one. This is a Naukri. This is also Naukri. Here, as you can see, senior data scientist. Well, I would not be qualified for senior. That is something I'm working on. That is allowing the LLM to look into how much experience you have and fine tuning your job searchings accordingly. Here is something like working with GPU systems because I've worked a little bit with C, C++, so I think it took that as a hint. Let's see what's here. Fintech. I've worked a little bit in cloud finances and stuff. So I think that is what it took for fintech. LLM engineer also, that is the most prevalent one out there. Generative AI engineer. So as you can see, it goes through each of my skill and it takes the top 5 skills and 5 jobs for each skill. So it will list down 25 jobs for every iteration that you make. So yeah, that is basically my project. Thank you.